So Arsenal 3, Manchester United 1. And Kenny, you was at the game. It was end to end in the first half. Ping pong football, basketball is what it could have been summed up as. Like our illustrious manager said the other day. We ended up getting the result. We're currently sat fourth, 3 points ahead of Tottenham. We play Brentford later. And what did you make of that game, mate?
You know what? I can only go by what I saw, and this is like substantiated by a lot of people around me. No one's happy with that first half. Everyone that we spoke to at the end of the first half has said, you know what, that was one of the worst games ever. It's like people were saying that Arsenal and Man United are light years away from Europe's elite. And that's Europe's elite. Can you make, and Europe's elite happens to be Liverpool and Man City. That was probably one of the worst halves of football I've ever seen in terms of quality. But we got the penalty, we got the first goal, to Vaz. And after that, we went, Man United became stronger because we just kept on giving the ball away. Cedric panicked, Savage panicked, and their goal was an absolute mess. The way no one was on Matic when he put that cross in. Tavares and Gabriel just stood there. And Ramsdale as well was putting us in a bit of danger as well. So in that respect, you look at that and you're thinking, how bad is Man United side for us to be 2-1 up? And not for us not to be at our best. And, that was just the theme of the game. The second half was just as much as a mess. And I think the game, the changing point for the game was when, Fernandes missed that penalty. When he hit the post, you thought, you know what, I think it's our day. And then when Xhaka scored that screamer again, you know what I mean? It was our day today, but...
It was mad because the amount of mistakes in that game, the first goal that Savage got, I mean, I don't know what Lindelof was doing. Then the ball comes out, De Gea parries it straight to Savage. Deleu's ball watching. Then they score. Again, Savage and Gabriel were ball watching when the ball comes in.
Yeah.
But before the ball came in, Tellers just literally walked around about 3 of our players, literally walking. And it was like, I said this on the stream, it was literally like going over the park on the weekend on a Sunday watching 2 pub teams play against each other. It was mad. For the neutral, it probably looked entertaining. Yeah, but it was only entertaining because there were so many mistakes. The amount of misplaced passes was a joke as well. It was mad. But people will be sitting there and they'll be saying that it doesn't really matter. We're fourth in the table and this and that. So people are going to say. I mean, I've seen it on the comments of the watch already. Oh, you're so negative. You're so this. Mate, let's have this right. That is the worst Man United team I've seen in my lifetime. It is shocking. And the fact that we were still in that game and could have equalised.
Yeah, because the thing is that they regardless of the fact that they're the worst Man United team, that individually there's still some good players in that team, but in terms of players, as a team, it's got no structure. They play off the cuff, which a top team should never do. And we took advantage. But what's happened is because they're off the cuff, and they have the structure, that makes them even more dangerous, and that enables them to get back in the team. Because when they did get it together, they hammered us. Cristiano Ronaldo was up for it. In terms of the way he ran and pressed. I thought Fernandes just sums up this season for me. But in terms of Arsenal, I think you have to put it down to this stage of the season. When you get to this stage of the season, it's not really about performance; it's about getting the points. And I think that's what it's going to be like. But if you're going to use this as a barometer to say, you know what, this team's going places, I think you need to hold it down. Because there are still aspects of today's game, and even on Wednesday, where you kind of understood why we lost our 3 games before Chelsea, i.e. the Southampton. Then it was before that was Brighton, and even before that it was it was Crystal Palace. So it seems like if teams defend well against us and pack the midfield and don't make mistakes, we find that we're still vulnerable because we're still making basic errors. We made basic errors on Wednesday. We made a few today, but our luck was in today, and good in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And again, Mohamed El Neni back in the side. It was an unchanged side, and I thought he was man of the match, mate. I thought he was the one player in that team today that didn't
Yeah.
he looked like he was panicking at times.
Yeah.
Just looked all calm, passing it around.
Exactly. Great Xhaka's going to get the problems, and I think Martin Odegaard did well for us as well. For what he did was quality as well, especially in that first half when he was one of the first, him and Nelney, one of the few players to come out with any Brady points in what I thought mess of first half. It was an absolute mess. But as you said, Nelney never lets people down. I know we got a lot of criticism because we bigged up Nelney from the Chelsea game, but. What do you want to do as a midfield? What do you want players to do as a midfield? You want someone attack, or someone that can pass simple passes. You can pass it too simple. Can he hit it long? Yeah, occasionally. Doesn't always get it right. Can he have a shot at goal? Yeah, he can. So, let's give the guy praise when it's due. Let's not always, single out, players like Jack because he's got a bigger name because he scored a screamer, although he did really well. And let's not always say, Martin Odegaard, because, again, he's one of the white-haired, milky bar kids. How about, acknowledging the fact that players like Malcolm and Elneny may not be spectacular, but they did a fantastic job for us today. A brilliant job. Hopefully, if we look back at the last two games, thank God for him. I'm not saying that he's like some top match winner, but he did a good job for us today. A really, really good job, especially in that second half, where he calmed things down for us.
100%, mate. I thought he was superb. I'm not sure who got man of the match.
I wouldn't be surprised if it went to either someone like Grant Xhaka or Odegaard, because it seems like when you, obviously you go on BT Sport or Sky, and a big name is always going to get the man of the match.
Yeah, somebody in my chat said it was Odegaard, but
Odegaard played well. He did very well. He opened up some doors, especially in the first half. Which Man United left open, and the second half he was sublime. He did everything he did with quality as well. But in terms of and enabling us to win the game and winning the midfield battle, I thought Elneny did it really. He's not doing it in a sort of physical way as Thomas Partey, but he is bringing something calm, and he's basically in that position where we can get Granit Xhaka out of harm's way. So anyone who could play effectively in that position to keep Granit out of harm's way is always going to be a win-win for me.
100%, man. 100%. Obviously, Tottenham play Brentford later tonight.
Massive game. They have to win.
Yeah, if they win, they're back above us, and we'll be back down to fifth. That North London derby's coming up soon. Obviously, we've got West Ham before that. I think we've got Leeds as well before that. Is that right? But that game, I think it is going to come down to that game, isn't it? And,
we've still got some difficult games. Newcastle away is going to be very, very difficult. They're playing better football. They've got to play Guimaraes as well. And Leeds, they've improved. They actually look organised as well. So, but West Ham next week, I think they're playing Frankfurt. Is it Frankfurt?
Frankfurt, yeah.
Frankfurt in the Europa League. Who knows what the situation is, but the derby. David Moyes will not accept anything other than commitment, and they want to turn us over as well because their fans don't want to give us any gifts. Obviously, they hate Tottenham more than us, but we have to be up for it. But we've got to cut out these errors because if one of these, it bit us up the arse and at Palace, Brighton, and Southampton, and it could bite us up the arse again. Because although our goal tally's going up, which I'm very pleased about, there's still concerning things that concern me because let's face it, Chelsea were a great line-up on Wednesday, and Man United, it's a mismatch. It was a mess.
I'm glad you brought up Chelsea because somebody put in my live chat in the last 5 league games, Chelsea have won 2, lost 3, and their fans get mad. We've won 2, lost 3, and our fans are saying, "Oh, Super Mick Arteta is."
Well, 100%.
It shows the levels, right?
It's 100%. It shows the levels about things, and it shows the levels of expectation at Man United because whilst we were not troubling the scorers in terms of winning the league, Man United and Chelsea were dominating English football, and then Man City came along and it's taken over. So, all 3 teams, and we'll leave the Man City out of it, but Man United and Chelsea, they got high expectations. It's the league or nothing, and that's what I want us developed. You know, I've got people come up to me and goes, "Oh, we get fourth, are you going to be backing Mikel Arteta?" I said, "Well, no, I'm not, because you know, I'm only interested in managers who can win, who can take us to that level in terms of challenge for the league." Now, Mikel Arteta, in my opinion, and the reason why he won't be able to do that, he may get the fourth place, and then, you know, is he going to be able to, you know, take us to that level where we are going to be able to go to places like the Etihad, you know, Anfield, and think, you know what, let's go and dominate games and, you know, get the good result there. That's the what I call as the, you know, the final chapter for Arsenal. It can't be just, you know, this process. This process can't take a long time, because let's face it, I reiterate what I said earlier in this interview. A lot of Arsenal fans in the first half, even though we're 2-1 up, weren't happy. They weren't happy. They weren't happy with the quality of football and the mistakes we're making. And you know, they're old boys, and they're saying, they're harking back to the George Graham days and the Arsene Wenger days, the early days of Arsene Wenger days, where that kind of play was alien. So, you know, and a lot of them are not accepting the fact, you know, it's a young team, blah blah. They want to see better football and better quality, because they know from, you know, life experience that next season we're going to need to upgrade our squad by 6 or 7 players, and if we don't and carry on playing this way, we're going to get tapped. Man United are a great example of this. They didn't lose an away game last season, finished second, albeit a poor one to Man United, Man City. But in terms of the quality of their play, they rode their luck. And now this season, with Jadon Sancho, you know, Cristiano Ronaldo, even though they've got arguably better players, the same mentality last season is gone into this season, and they're getting punished for that, and that could happen to us next season. That's why 100%. I'm always demanding better quality. You know what I mean? Exactly. I'm happy we won. I'm ecstatic. I'm going to enjoy myself. I can't wait to go in boxing and see any Man United fans get some. But I'm not a pork chop. You know, I'm not going to think, oh yeah, win, draw, lose, everyone on the boost. I want better than this. You do.
Yeah, fact. And like we said at the very beginning, that is the worst Man United side I've ever seen. So let's not get carried away with it. But listen, get to the hotel safely, mate. And I'll message you in a bit, buddy.
All right, we'll speak soon. Definitely.
I'll tear her
Come
out.
on, you Reds. I'll tear her out. All